recording these, so if you guys missed something or can't remember, I recorded the last one, but then I accidentally didn't record like this portion of the screen for whatever reason, because it was the first time I used it on this side of my computer. So if you can't remember something, I'm gonna try and upload the videos in some edited form that like cuts out all my ramblings on the Blackboard. So all right, so this one I'm gonna just do like 3 tricks in here, and then that will be it. And so that's pretty much, of course you can feel free to explore other things that you learn within the tutorials. I'm just showing you things that I have used a lot, but how to animate with the wireframe, how to animate your material, and how to animate an object along a path, which is actually really handy for cameras. So just to start with the sort of animation portion, let's go with the sphere. And so animating something along a path is really useful. There is this whole animation tab, and there is this thing that's called a walkthrough assistant, which I don't use. I'm not comfortable. I'm more comfortable at other animation techniques in 3D Max than this walkthrough assistant. I remember one time I was like, oh, it's so easy, I'll show you. We'll just create a new camera, and then click render to preview it, and then I don't know, it's just not, I'm not like really familiar with it. Some people love it, but just so you know it's there, it's not my cup of tea. Oh, function delete. But there are lots of other sort of animation techniques in here. I mean, it's ranging from trying to animate it's just like a really huge range of, the bone tools is like the best. Bone edit mode, you can like edit skeletons, it's great. But for our use, or the ones that I use all the time, is the one where you animate something along a path. And so essentially what I'm going to start off doing is I'm going to take an object and then create a is it over here? Teapot, plane, pyramid, line, circle, rectangle, ellipse. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Whatever, we'll use this, an arc. So we have an object, we have a path. So again, this little toolbar up here has different things in it. You can, we'll eventually explore one of these in here, but for the most part, these are primitives. This is like a camera. The first thing is objects you can use. It's supposed to be an objects tab. And then as you click on things, some of these things become modifiers. So we'll look at that later. But essentially, you take your object, you go to animation, what's it called? Path? Constraints, path constraint. So select the object, animation, constraints, path constraint. Once you click on that, you'll get this weird dotted line, and it's essentially asking for you to go tell it what line, what path you're interested in connecting it to. So I just clicked and it automatically puts it on the path. Do you see how this could be handy for a camera? So you could put a thing in the center of this and attach your camera to the arc on the outside. and have it travel along that arc. Everyone clear? Yeah? Okay. So I'm just going to change the scale of this to so you can again go back and change additional things about the way that this sort of travels along the path. So this is like your primitives tab. Your motion tab is also handy for these specific animations. So you can modify these things and allow for different kinds of velocity. So one example is follow. If you have an object and it's not traveling along the path the way you want it to, clicking follow really allows you to have different kinds of relationships with the object to the curve. It's not going to do anything here. I should go get a weirder shaped thing, but right now it is doing something weird, but well, it's this thing right here. So what it's asking you is where it wants to start. So I'm here at my 0 and the along path percentage is at 51. So if I go in and put it at 0, it will pop back. I mean, it's like another level, but say I wanted to get to the halfway point here and then go really fast at the end. I can go in here and change this to 50 and then it will like speed up to the end faster. So it's another way to keyframe things without using the keyframe. It's like its internal keyframe. Play. Well, you can't really tell, I guess. Maybe you have to have keyframes on, but that's the general idea. And then that's basically the two things you would use this for. So again, I'll just show you why I use it, which is for cameras. So let's delete this guy. Create a camera. You can use it as a light, right? I created a lot of these agents, which is what like a Maxwell scripting, so that you can create like little agents. Like imagine, I'm going to use my least favorite reference, little minions, and you're animating them and you're kind of like crowdsourcing them to walk out a door. There's like built-in scripts for that. So they are typically used for these sort of like character-based designs that are like, they are trying to strategically make 100 minions walk out of a door. That's what it's there for, but you can sometimes use it for other things. So I attached lights to all the agents and animated it. Animating lights is really cool. So you can do that. Here's a camera. Oh, I want to do a target camera. Let's do a teapot. Teapot. Create camera. Target camera. My target is my teapot. And then here's my camera. No. Okay, whatever. It's fine. Move this out here. Move my target to my teapot. Let's make sure it's in all the So target cameras are really handy, but you need to make sure you adjust them all in all the views because it just goes wherever it wants. Camera first, then the target. It's probably best. So now I can take this animation, constraint, path constraint, click it here. Again, wow. Yeah, it's weird. It's doing that for all mine. So go here, go to my motion tab, pull it up, make sure my path is the way I want it, and then when I hit play, oops. Well, let's actually change it to the right camera. It's going to go around your object and whatever, and now it's a little bit easier to control a curve instead of your keyframes, which sometimes gets out of control if you had any success with that last time. So that's one really quick way to do some animations. The next is materials. So this is fun stuff too. Clicking on M and pulling up the material editor under the compact mode. Sorry. What we want to do is create a wireframe, and that's very easy to do. The first thing you want to do is change it from your fancy arc design. You can't, well, I'm not saying you can't. I don't know how to use them like that. What you're going to have to do is a composite, because it's going to be two materials overlaid onto one sort of command. So the composite actually limits your range of colors, but that's cool because you don't want to get too fancy for a wireframe. Just changing the wireframe color is good enough. So yes, whatever, it's fine. So now, I mean, I think you guys will have to watch the video, this video, to remember this because I can hardly. So now basically you have these composite material options. That's what this is. They are saying material 1 is this, material 2 is this. So you go and click on the first one, which says none currently. We're going back into standard. Okay. Just gonna change this color so that it's pretty for now. No, not that seafoamy. Okay. So that's the first step. This is where you can make it wire. Do you see this button? I know it's hard to see, but right here, you can make things wire. The problem is that this is not, you'll see straight through everything. So you would have to have something modeled in a very nice way in order for it to make sense. You pretty much always will have to have like almost like a white piece of paper underneath it so it's solid, but then showing the wireframe as well. So yeah. We're just gonna say, okay, that's great, fine, standard, nice. We go back to the parent. So we were clicked in a material and it was here. Like, I'm gonna click on this one again. And in order to get back to that list of materials, you click on go to parent. So this is where everything lives. And then this one I'm just going to make white and a wireframe. Wait, did I do it? Standard. Okay, did I mess this up? So it's, I don't know why I keep ruining this, but essentially you are changing each one individually. And then when you go back to the parent, you'll see the change. So I made it seafoam green with, I think I accidentally put more than one wire mesh over it, but it's got a wire mesh over it. So that's a composite material. You are essentially going to edit the base color and then edit on top of it a wire frame. And then voila. Again, apply it, and it looks like this, but then when it's rendered, oh, failure. I don't know why it's not, I just changed it. That's weird. But that's what it looks like without the color underneath it. But I don't understand why it's not rendering. It just did this when I was at home. I don't know what's wrong. My apologies. So that's, let's do this one. Weird. I'm not sure. I redid it and it worked. So that's how to do a wireframe. And then the last thing is to animate materials, which can be quite interesting sometimes. I don't really know how to switch from like copper to glass or something like that. The only ways I've ever really used it is diagrammatically. What did I move something? So say I wanted to switch, you can make it maybe seafoam at the beginning, and then when you get to here, you can change that material again. Oops, I should probably keyframe. So make sure you turn on your auto and your keyframe. Oops. So now it's going to change from seafoam to pink to whatever, blue. So that's one way. And then you can also edit the opacity level, which is also a cool way. So you can make it go from this sort of blue to, turning on my auto, go all the way here, and then it will be a 0 opacity. So it's essentially disappearing. So that's about it for today. I'll try and show you water and smoke and glow and shine on Tuesday. If you are interested in that, you can look up effects. But mostly come in on Tuesday with an idea of what you want to do and like what tools you're going to employ based on your interests. So make sure that your idea is like, I want to do a fly around, but I'm going to change the scale, or I'm going to make it wireframe, or you need to create an effect in some way that visualizes. I guess I'll show you one thing. This is kind of important. So theoretically, I think it would be a really great idea for you to use your city. You can, you don't have to. We really need the city for Maya because we're going to be running particle simulations in Maya, and so you know, like that wind tunnel effect, we can visualize that. You can absolutely use that for this project as well. It's really not tricky. You do have to export. Do you see how it's disappearing a little bit? It's the most beautiful teapot ever. So to take this lovely mini city and bring it into Max, all you do is export selected as a 3ds. Wait, where'd you go? 3ds Studio. It's like the exact file format for Max. Thank you, Rhino, for being so accommodating. And I always label it stupid things like 2max, and then I never find it again, but there you go. Another good thing about TIFF sequence is I can cancel this right now and still have a 90 frame TIFF sequence. If you canceled a movie, it would not do anything for you. import, or maybe you don't even have to import, or whatever. Import, merge objects with current scene, yes. Convert units, sure. Do you want the animation length to match? Okay, sure. We don't have any animation length. Oh, weird. Some of those didn't export. I think I had them locked. But essentially, here they all are. And again, because, you know, we did all the STL merging, most of these objects are one block. So simple. Wonderful. Yeah? Sometimes it's not. Wow, this one's all messed up. But yeah, that's the idea. So it's really easy to export and import stuff. If you wanted to make, I have found that if you want the materials to be certain kinds of materials, I will sometimes, I will make sure that they are already separate objects in Rhino because it's kind of hard to explode these. So do your modeling in Rhino, being strategic and bringing it over here. Again, you don't have to use your city. It can be anything. It's just mostly about exploring animation in Max, and then we will use this for simulation in Maya when we get there. Awesome. So class dismissed. Yeah, save your stuff. Answer.